Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Pavan, an Olympian and beach volleyball world champion and a longtime professional indoor player.
Hi everyone, my name's Adam, former indoor player, indoor coach, and current beach volleyball coach. And most importantly, Sarah's husband.
Oh, you remember the last part, perfect. Today we are watching season 1, episode 11 of Haikyuu called Decision. I think we know what that is alluding to because last episode was very heavily focused on the differences between Kageyama and Suga. So yeah, I feel like that's probably what we're getting to. The squad is back together.
She pretends like she doesn't know what's coming.
I'm doing this to remind Adam of what happened last episode.
In fairness, so a couple things. One, it's been probably 3 weeks since we've recorded.
Don't tell the people that. Don't tell the people that.
No, but I mean, so for me, I have not forgotten, but need a little reminder. So I watched all of the previous episodes that had been edited, and a few things. One, I don't know why anybody didn't tell me my neck was cranked at a 90-degree angle watching the show. I didn't realize that. That was horrifying to watch. And the fact that I mutter under my breath while I'm watching the show, which also not helpful for anybody.
You wanna know who gave him that feedback? Me. I gave him that feedback because you guys are too nice to him. Just kidding. You're just nice enough. But he needs to be brought back to reality every now and then. So I had to tell him that his neck was like at an angle, and I'm like, I literally cannot do the captions because you're like muttering at the worst time. So we're gonna try to improve that this episode. More importantly, last episode we had the finish of the match between the Neighborhood Association and Kirisuno. Asahi is back on board, Noya's back on board, Suga's feeling
re-energized.
Re-energized.
But, so what do you, I mean, you kind of know, but if you can remember back to it, so Suga connects well with the older players, he's reliable, he has confidence, you know, he gets the job done, he's steady. Kageyama connects with Hinata really well, he's obviously, you know, I would say probably thinks the game at a higher level than Suga, is more accurate than Suga, but maybe doesn't have that same confidence and connection with the rest of the hitters other than Hinata, who just follows him around blindly. So I think it's gonna be a struggle for him to connect with other hitters. I think especially with Asahi, and I think there's constantly gonna be this back and forth of, you know, if Suga makes 4 out of the 6 hitters better and Kageyama makes Hinata better and is serviceable, it's going to be an interesting dynamic, I think.
Is that what is happening? I don't know. We did, however, have the crucial moment between Kageyama and Hinata where he basically called him out hard and was like, I'm setting, because Hinata got the wild idea that he was ready to be an ace. Silly guy.
Took a ball in the face.
Immediately took a ball in the face. But then Kageyama was like, I'm gonna set Hinata the next ball. Basically highlighting that whatever your title is, whatever you think your, you know, status is a point, and it doesn't matter.
What did you think of how he went about it though? So it was really interesting. Excuse me. It was really interesting to me how I love the point he got across to Hinata, that you can be good even if you're not the ace.
The decoy is very important.
Right. But while making sure that kind of everybody knew that it was because of him, like there was a subtle / not so subtle. Like, you're good because I'm good. Yeah. But it affected Hinata in the right way. So my question is, was that intentional or was it a pleasant byproduct of the way he sees and approaches things? Because everything he said was accurate. It was just a little, maybe direct or over the top.
I think The point he was trying to make about like a decoy is just as important as an ace in the like scope of a team was accurate, and it was very important for Hinata to understand that.
Agreed.
I do not necessarily agree with how he carried on about like, you're only anything because of me. Sure, yes, right now maybe that's the case, but I don't think it needs to be said.
Fair. I'm curious to see the impact the coach has. Made some good observations, you know, a little bit shocked at Kageyama and Hinata, and recognized that reception was an issue for the team. So, yes. You know, how is he going to factor into that? What are his insights going to be? What is his training going to be like? How is he going to solve those problems? I'm curious to see that.
All right, so we know the Nakoma match is coming up, the little scrimmage. So we've got an important decision to make. So here we go. We've chatted too much already. So season 1, episode 11 of Haikyuu, Decision, is coming right now.
Did he do his shoes up before?
Before he left the house? Yes. Lest we forget the Tanaka lap barf experience. He got it up.
That's more than I was expecting. Ooh, everybody's favorite part of practice.
Did anybody see that look that Suga gave him?
Yep.
And then Yamaguchi, who was keeping score in the scrimmage, he just asked if he could go next.
Suga's brain is interesting because you feel like he saw Kageyama and he was kind of resigned to the fact that he was going to take his place. And then Asahi came back and he got a little mojo and he got a little confidence, and now you can see it kind of chipping away again, where he doesn't know where he fits or what's going to happen.
Hate that. It's tough stuff.
That's an all-day practice.
Morning till night.
First years.
What else are you going to do at a training camp? They're talking about the manager.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only female character we've met so far. I'm just remembering South Korea.
You know what just crossed my mind? Tsukishima reminds me of your brother.
Which one?
Zach.
Fair enough.
Is that accurate?
That's pretty accurate.
I was looking at when they were in the like defensive line, and if you like freeze frame it, Tsukishima was at the very back, like, "Bah!" And that reminds me of his brother, who also played volleyball but acted like that.
No, didn't play much defense though.
And just like the little comments and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, take notes. We'll see if he agrees.
1年黒だぞ。どうした、ひなた。知らない人がいるんです。そんなわけねえだろ。今日ここ使ってんのは。なんか子供。
What is happening?
見間違いだぜ。
Ghost.
窓に映った自分とかに決まってるじゃねえか。そうですよね。見間違いですよね。そうそう。見間違い。見間違い。
If Hinata's playing a practical joke.
何騒いでんだ。大地さんに怒られるぞ。ただの野屋じゃねえか。野屋さん。でも野屋さんの身長が縮んだ。確かにおめえは髪の分まで身長だぜ。言ってねえ。笑ってんじゃねえ。あんまり騒ぐな。大地が俺だよ。朝日だよ。お前らうるさい。
I mean,
there's a child among us.
think about, I don't know how it was on the girls' side, but think about any like overnight provincial team camp. Like obviously our high schools did go on training camps, but like that sums up everything pretty much to a T. I don't know what your experience was, but.
Oh, when kids are left to their own devices, they create the ghost stories and everything gets scary.
What? I just think about like me and Paul Riche with the group. So
one of my friends.
Funny story, one of Sarah's best friends growing up I ended up playing with before our paths crossed, so but that just reminds me of all of those experiences.
And then Asahi with the long hair though, I think that's scarier.
Yeah, 100%.
That is scarier than baby Noya without his hair gelled.
The child. 3 inches at least.
足止まってんぞ。手振り回してんじゃねえ。おいっぱ。ナイスひなた。
5本成功です。
よし、一回りしたな。次、ランニング。早く来い。元気ですね。昼休みも削って練習とは。影山のやつ、早朝にも走ってるの見たぞ。ああ、それなら日向君もですよ。合宿中は登下校の山越えがないからって。山越え？それであのスタミナか。
He doesn't have to ride his bike.
試合のメンバーでお悩みですか？セッターに迷う。実力からいけば影山。菅原の強みが1年の時から築いてきたエースとの連携だとしても、影山はその時間すらあっという間に飛び越えてしまうような才能を持っている。けど菅原も今までやってきてるわけで、 他の連中からの信頼もあるだろうし。
鵜飼君が迷う理由はもしかして菅原君が3年生だからというのがあるんでしょうか。3年生というのは今年が最後なわけで、やはり特別な。ああ、すいません、余計なことを。
いや、その通りかもしらん。俺は高校3年間でスタメンだったのは後輩の正セッターが怪我で出らんない時の1回きり。あの頃は試合に出してもらえないことがただとにかく悔しかった。けど仮にもコーチを引き受けた以上、選手側の気持ちでいるわけにはいかねえよな。
All right, Coach Adam, what would you do in this situation?
Well, I think there's one thing I kind of want to talk about, and this is something that
Adam's like, forget that question. I have my own script.
No, it's an important question, but this is something that all, I don't want to say new or young, or all coaches go through, is that at the beginning when you start coaching, you identify with players in your same situation more than you do other players, and you have this innate tendency to want to like or favor those people without even realizing you're doing it.
I don't think he means situation. I mean, like, it's easier to relate to people who are like you. So when coaches see athletes that are similar to how they were as athletes, it's easier for them to like them.
Yeah, 100%. And you have that, and it can affect your decision making, and it's not good for the team. I actually really like that the manager, who knows nothing about volleyball, like, to me that's what a good manager does. He's there to ask questions and to watch from an outside perspective and to just be like, hey, is this going on? And I think that interaction was super important.
Takeda just got elevated to the manager title. He's just the teacher sponsor.
I mean, he is grinding for that team.
He is the manager.
I honestly, I don't know if there is a right or wrong decision.
No, Kyoko's the manager. Sorry.
No, my bad.
But GM. You gave Takeda the title of GM last.
Okay, yeah, okay, GM.
Okay,
GM.
sorry. So anyway.
The role stays the same. Questions stay the same.
You were saying.
Is it a two of three, or is it 3 of 5? Do we know what the practice match for the practice match?
Everything here is usually 2 of 3.
So
Except, I won't get too ahead of myself. Most of the time, it's 2 of 3.
If it was me, I would start Suga for the first set.
Because?
It's his team, it's his position to lose. I think when you've got a guy who's put his time in, and he hasn't done anything wrong. Like, it's not like he's been bad. And I think that you have to make young players earn their spot.
Earn it.
And I would start Suga. I would let Kageyama play for sure, whether it's half a set, whether it's a full set. That would be like a game time decision for me, but I would start Suga.
Interesting. I respect that, and I can understand your reasons. Coming from it from a different perspective.
I knew that you and I would not agree on this.
I don't disagree. I do not disagree. Suga has done nothing wrong. He has been the starting setter for years, but the team has not been particularly successful. There is that to keep in mind. I will say that I have been in Kageyama's shoes more than once. Okay, where I have come into a team where a girl or woman has been the starter before me, and I walk in and take the starting spot. I'm not saying this to be like, woo, whatever, like, and I am grateful for the opportunity to be able to show what I can do. Do I think I earned the spot? I won't get into that. But
I think, well, no, you would have had that experience. I was going to say, I think there's a difference between a professional career and a high school career.
College.
But you went through that as well, so I can't.
High school.
Yeah, I can't discount that. I think I will add a caveat that if the match counted for the season, my decision might be different. But it's a practice match. I think in this scenario, my gut still stays with Suga, but I give Kageyama a chance.
Shocker, we see different perspectives, but can also understand. Let's see what happens. But first, they're going running.
He's not gonna be able to train in the afternoon session.
No, he's not biking to school every day. It's more energy. That's what they were saying.
Crow.
A kitty cat.
真っ赤なジャージ。ここらで見ないジャージだ。何してんの？
マイク。
え？よそから来たの？それ面白い？
別にこれはただの暇つぶしだし。
あ、バレエやんの？そのシューズバレエの？俺もバレー部。俺日向翔よ。
コズメ。
コズメ？名前？
コズメ。ケンマ。
ケンマか。高校生？何年？俺1年。
2年。
やべ、先輩だ。すみません。
いいよ。そういう体育会系の上下関係みたいの。
I can respect that.
そうなの。バレエ好き？
別になんとなくやってる。嫌いじゃないけど疲れるのとかは好きじゃない。
He's like my
けど
brother.
友達がやってるし、俺いないと多分困るし。
好きになったらもっと楽しいと思うけどな。
いいよ。どうせ高校の間やるだけだし。
ポジションどこ？
セッター。
へえ、なんかうちのセッターとは違うな。うちのはもっとガーって感じのやつ。ちなみに俺はミドルブロッカー。やっぱり変だと思う。背のでかいやつがやるポジションだもんな。
まあそうだろうけど、別に俺も試合とか行くとよく言われる。セッターは一番能力の高いやつがやるポジションなのに、なんであいつっていう風に。俺特別運動得意とかじゃないし。
じゃあさ、お前の学校強い？
どうだろう。昔強かったらしいけど一回衰えて。でも最近は強いと思うよ。
どこの学校？
ケンマ。黒。じゃあまたね、翔よ。
I saw
勝手に
that.
フラフラすんな。知らない土地なんだ。
Wait! Don't press pause yet. Finish the scene.
I don't even have to see that guy's face to know he's in the love house.
No, because you know how many times you guess somebody's in the love house and you've been wrong? So many times. But this time,
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Kuro is like the king of the love house.
Yeah.
I love him. I love him so much.
Didn't even have to see his face. Saw half his head and I knew.
You saw the tall body and black hair.
Yeah. Okay, we can finish the scene.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a complex watching this show.
Oh. Okay, well, scene's well done.
I'm sorry I hit the space bar
Okay.
a fraction of a second early.
That's what I always do, so. So did you put it together?
That he's the setter for the rival school? I got there.
But I don't think Hinata's put it together.
No, Hinata.
But Kenma saw the name on his shirt. Okay. I feel okay. I think it's fair what you said. Like, Adam's brother is Kenma only in Tsukushima's body.
Yeah, so my brother was like he's a 6'6" setter.
But also he is kind of like Tsukushima. Anyways.
Yeah. But all of his coaches, we don't need to go into family history lessons, but I was always the hard worker and he was the talented one who got called lazy. If we're gonna, he could have been really good. But yeah, never looked like he was trying particularly hard.
Okay, so Kenma is a setter, and he didn't really even blink when Hinata said he was a middle blocker.
Kenma, it's so interesting. Well, my first thought went to, and I'm gonna get the name wrong, but maybe I'm right, to Andre Agassi. He was the tennis player who didn't like playing tennis, correct?
Correct, yes.
And
if you haven't read it, read his book. It's called Open. Fabulous. Anyway.
So but I think sometimes those players are the most dangerous, right? Like he kind of cares, but he kind of doesn't care, and he's not athletic, but he's just gonna go out and do it because his friends do it. And I bet you he's super smart, and I bet you he has really nice hands. That's my prediction. And we'll see what happens. I bet you it looks like he kind of mopes around the court and then he's just like, and it's sauce. That's my prediction.
I love a prediction.
We'll see.
We know that I love a prediction. We will see. Time will tell if Adam's prediction is correct.
But that's a typical Hinata interaction. I'm running,
Let's
I'm doing
friends.
something, I get lost, I start talking about anything and everything, potentially giving away like team trade secrets in the process, but just like happy to be alive and loving volleyball.
Yeah.
Can't fault the guy for it.
ひなたたく探したぞ
すみません突っ走ってたら迷っちゃって
ひなたは本当どんな練習でも全力だよな
はいでももっと練習しなくちゃ俺まだまだ力が足んなくて影山とセットじゃないと一人前扱いされないのは悔しいけどでもそれでも試合に出たい俺コートに立ちたいです
俺もだよ俺もコートに立ちたいと思うよだから俺は俺のやり方で戦うほら
I wonder what his way
いい
is.
飯をくれるぞ
なあ向こうのセッターはなんか小さくね
うんそれになんかヒョロヒョロしてる控えセッターなんじゃない
学校名聞いたことないよな
君らの言うヒョロヒョロのチビとは
This is the cat school, right? This is your boy?
Oh, I'm sorry. Here you are talking about you know what school it is, you know what's going on, and you just asked this is the cat school?
No, I understand that. I was making sure Nakoma and cats was the same thing.
Yeah, we've been over this.
Yeah, but you know my memory's not right.
Oh my gosh. Oh, perfect pause yet again.
Life of a coach.
なんだ
俺ら3年には来年がないですだから一つでも多く勝ちたいです次へ進む切符が欲しいですそれを取ることができるのが俺より影山なら迷わず影山を選ぶべきだと思います大地と朝日と1年の時から一緒にやってきました一緒のコートに立ちたいですワンプレーでも多く影山が疲れた時何かハプニングがあった時穴埋めでも代役でも3年生なのにかわいそうって思われても試合に出られるチャンスが増えるなら何でもいい正セッターじゃなくても出ることは絶対に諦めないそのためにはよりたくさんのチャンスが欲しい生意気言ってすみません
菅原、俺はお前を甘く見てたみたいだ。正直今お前にビビってる。
はい。
俺はまだ指導者として未熟だが、お前らが勝ち進むために俺にできることは全部やろう。
お願いします。
あ、気合い入れんぞ。一回でも多く勝つ。おう。
I've got little tears welling up in my eyeballs. Oh.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest.
What part?
I can appreciate the sentiment of what he's saying of like, I will do whatever I can to get on the court, but you haven't even started yet. He hasn't made up a decision.
You think he's giving up? You think he's conceded the spot to Kageyama?
Oh, kind of. That's what he came in as a coach. I can appreciate him coming to me and saying, I am willing to do whatever the team wants. And that was his message, and you know I'm a Suga fan. He's in the house. He's in the bro house. I just think it's important to be confident and to earn your spot and to just show it rather than going and having that conversation so early. Like, you don't even know what the coach is going to decide.
So I'm going to counter that and
Okay.
say maybe Suga is aware of how hard of a decision this probably is for the coach.
You think
And so he's letting him know that he understands how good Kageyama is, and his priority is for the team to win. And so he is putting it out there that, like, even though I'm a third year and Kageyama's a first year, my number one priority is for the team to win, so I respect whatever decision you make.
I agree with that sentiment wholeheartedly.
I think that is what he was doing. I don't think he was just like rolling over and being like, okay, fine.
It was, I guess maybe I'm just nitpicking the way he started.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't love, I don't know.
No, he just got done saying to Hinata, I'm going to try to earn my spot in my way.
I just think that conversation with the coach was maybe a little bit premature.
I disagree.
Fair enough.
I respect it.
どこから来んのその食欲。おい食え、無理やりでも食え。この時期からそんなんでまだそんなお前ら力抜きするぞ。いっぱい食って
山口いらねえの？
頑張んないとね。ほらちゃんと山口に食わせろ。
I'm telling you, I love the guy.
Give the guy some credit.
He has,
okay?
he has credit.
スターティングオーダーはこれでいく。顔を合わせて間もないメンツだし、そう簡単に息が合うとは思ってね。凄腕のリベロが入ったから、エースが戻ったからよし勝てるぞってなるわけじゃない。勝つのは繋いだ方。このメンツでどのくらい戦えるのか。カラスの宿敵猫との勝負だ。
朝日さん、菅さんはともかく縁の下に申し訳ないとか思ってんじゃないですか。強い方がコートに立つ。
He basically just called him out.
For?
Okay, so he was like talking about like, oh, I know maybe you're feeling sorry for Suga, so I'm assuming you're feeling sorry for the other guys who are on the bench too, right? Basically being like,
Go do your job.
if you're gonna feel like, yeah, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't just pick one guy out of everybody in that role that you feel bad for.
Well, they're buddies.
Well, he called him out.
I like it.
これ当然です。朝日さん、俺。
Which I think is a fair point.
100%.
Those bench players would kill for the opportunity to play.
縁の下さ、練習前の話。
ああ、逃げ出した話。
Interesting dynamic. Fills out the roster.
Yes.
Now, we haven't met any of those players, right?
Not really.
Like they've been kind of hanging around, but like we haven't.
Yeah, they've been in the background, but they haven't really done much yet. But I think that this episode is speaking so much to team dynamics and the interesting interplay between that competition within the team, but also remembering why you're there and like that it's bigger than the individual, and it's such a difficult balance.
It is, but you also, I mean, I think for players like you and I'm not putting myself on your level, but like there are some of us who play sport and the
Sorry, I'm just looking at the screen. Look how long those antennas look.
Do they look abnormal?
They look abnormally tall.
Well, that's because they're the weird ones that connect to the bottom and top. No.
Okay, sorry, I keep interrupting you.
I think there are some players who play sports, especially when they're young, because they just want to win, no matter the cost. And I mean, I was like that, you were like that. But I think back to my high school volleyball team, and like we had 3 basketball players on our team who just needed something to do, like. And we were decent. They knew they were never going to play, but they came to practice. They had fun with the guys, and they were happy. Like they played some games, they played some tournaments, but it was that sense of team and knowing that this wasn't their quote-unquote main sport. And
but even what if it was their main sport?
Yeah,
because
like,
that's also an interesting thing, because you see so many times people who are, you know, the second string setter or the second libero or the third left side, and they are mad about it.
Yeah.
And like cause internal conflict, or like even on like youth teams, parents cause problems between the kids and between the other parents because they think their kids should be playing. And it's just like, I've thought about this so much because I have been fortunate enough to usually be the person, one of the people who's on the court. But if I happen to have a child who is not,
I mean, I was not always on the court. I've been in that role. I've been frustrated. I have walked into my coach's office and said, "Why am I not playing? What do I need to have? Like, what do I have to do?" Like, I've been there. It's not easy.
This episode is hitting a really tough spot for a lot of team sport athletes.
I love that they have multiple types of balls.
Gotta hit that sponsor, you know?
クリーニングとか直し終わりました。ユニフォーム。テレビで見たやつ。野安さんだけオレンジだ。目立つ。そりゃお前、俺は主役だからな。主役。
Liberals.
リベロは試合中、何回もコートを出入りするから分かりやすいように一人だけ違うんだよ。知ってるし、全然知ってるし。
That's my number, baby!
影山が一桁。
言うと思った。1年でユニフォームもらえるだけありがたいと思え。
あ、分かってる。
あ、そっか。番号までは覚えてないか。テレビで一回見た。
Okay, quick! Before the numbers are revealed, what was your number?
That was always number 3.
We all know who number 3 is.
Who's got my number?
You're gonna find out, I don't want to tell you. Kageyama has my number.
Shocking.
You know what? Now watching this with you, now everything that happens, I'm like, oh man, yeah.
I honestly,
all signs point to Kageyama.
I don't know how you didn't pick up
My
on it.
self-awareness must be absolutely below ground. But if you remember, the little giant who inspired Hinata to play volleyball was not wearing number 10. Oh my gosh, my perfectly timed pause as always.
I love that gesture for him. Like for the two people.
You're like, oh, is it on purpose? I was like, no.
ちなみに、日向の好きな小さな巨人がいた頃が過去カラスノが一番強かった時期だが、
You play with me.
この頃カラスノは一度もネコマに勝っていない。負けっぱなしで終わっている。おめえ返上してくれ。よし、それじゃ練習再開だ。
ネコマって強いとこなんですね。どんなチームなんですか？
現状はさすがに知らねえけど、昔からレシーブの強いチームだった。突出している選手がいるとかではなかったんだが、穴がない。うちとは真逆だな。レコっつうだけあって、とにかくしなやか。なんだこれ。打っても打っても相手コートに全然落ちない。
I'm so happy they're breathing.
守備も天才みたいなやつがいるわけじゃないのに、なんで強いんだ。
Guess we'll have to wait to see who number 3 is for Adam.
我らが因縁の相手、カラスノに女子マネージャーはいるか否か。俺はいない方に焼きそばパン。
俺はいた方が嬉しいから、いる方で。僕もです。
Why is that a thing?
うちにはいねえのに向こうに。
Because they're a boys volleyball team in Japan who probably have no access to girls ever.
Fair enough.
Just think about Tanaka and Noya. They're obsessed with Kyoko.
Got it. Okay. It just seemed like an odd thing to be talking
いた
about.
ら悔しいだろうが。うっかりもしかして美人のマネがいたりしたら、俺は絶対に許さない。絶対にだ。その時は覚悟しとけよ、カラスノ。おい、ケンマはどう思う？
別にどっちでも。
言うと思った。
でもちょっと楽しみだよね、カラスノと試合。
やる気なしおのケンマが試合を楽しみにしているだと。
山本、そんなに元気ならてめえだけ練習量増やしてやろうか。
すみません。
Does the guy with the mohawk remind you of anyone? In the show?
I'm thinking. A beach volleyball player.
No, in the show. Remind you of anybody that we've met in the show.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get the name wrong. Tanaka?
Is that who you meant?
The on the left side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay, well, as soon as I met Yamamoto, I was like, he is like the Tanaka.
Yes,
of Nakoma.
100%.
Okay,
100%.
I was like, maybe I'm...
I can't tell you how excited I am that I got the name right.
I know, I'm more excited about that.
He's dreaming. Ooh, visualizing. Sleeping.
おい、ひなた。そろそろ風呂の時間だったよ。おい、気張りすぎてまた吐くなよ。吐くねえよ。当たり前だけど、今試合に出らんなくてもみんな出るつもりでいる。今俺が出してもらえるのはお前のトスがあるからだ。悔しいけど俺団体じゃきっと出してもらえない。風呂入ってすぐ寝る。
このクソがてめえ、フライクだ。
なんで風呂に行くスピードまで競うの？バカじゃないの？
見てるだけで疲れる。
ほら、走ってんの誰だ。
get to see who wears Adam's number next episode.
I'm more excited about the match.
Yeah, that too, obviously. That was a good one. It touched on some important issues that all coaches and teams have to deal with.
Yeah.
We got to meet Kenma and Kuro.
Yeah.
Yamamoto showed his personality a little bit. Yeah.
I'm curious to see, you know, they've trained a little bit, but really without reception, they're going to be in trouble. So my instinct is that they probably get blanked by Nakoma. Just, if they're that good defensively and they're just steady, Karasuno hasn't played enough to be able to win those matches at this point, probably. But I'm curious to see like a match.
Karasuno's got some standout athletes. They've got the weird factor, the surprise factor.
They got the genius factor. Like quite
Standout
frankly,
athletes.
two of them, yeah.
And Nakoma is apparently a backboard, and the ball just will not hit the ground. So.
See, when you said standout athletes, I thought like you were talking about Hinata and Asahi, who were just like good physically, and then I was thinking about,
I meant like really good individual players.
Yeah.
We're not in sync. It's fine.
We're not in sync.
Anyways, let us know your thoughts. We touched on some issues, some things that some of you probably can relate to, and if you haven't played team sports, then maybe we gave you something to think about.
I'm curious if anybody has had any experiences with a coach like that, who they just felt like didn't connect with them and made decisions accordingly. Because I think that can be really frustrating.
Let us know. Hit us up in the comments below. As always, I'd be so excited if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned because next week we are gonna see the Cat and Crow reunion. Battle of the garage dump, as Adam likes to say, but it's actually the garbage dump. Okay. Bye.